All right, YouTube, what's up? I'm back. Bad boy Alex is here. Today's another episode of Sex Talk 101, episode 35. You're probably wondering, what is the 35th episode gonna be about? Well, there's something that we don't ever talk about here on YouTube, and most people don't make YouTube videos about this, so I'm probably either the second, third, or maybe fourth person who has touched on it, but I've never made a video about it, and that's what is your number from scale 1 to 10. See, something that these punk ass pickup artists and dating coach morons are never going to tell you what is your number. You hear it all the time when you try to ask a woman out to lunch and dinner. When it comes to sex, you always ask from a scale of 1 to 10, what's my number? 10 being the greatest of all times. 9, 9 is like, I forgot what they said about 9, but 9 would be like still great, just not the greatest. Or the second greatest, or whatever you would call that. And 8 would mean you're still great. And then 7 would be average at best. So we're going to break down for men how you can tell what number you are. Because you see, when you waste your money paying $200, $300, $400, $500, or even $1,000 for these 2-hour or 3-hour pickup artist seminars, they're not going to teach you what I'm going to teach you. See, I don't charge money to help guys get with females. I give you common sense. I give you information that is useful, stuff that makes you use this. I don't charge this. Because you see, when you use this, that means you're all about yourself and you're not about helping the person. Now, for me, I'm an 8. Now, once upon a time in history, if you find it hard to believe, I probably was a 6 or a 6.5. Because, I had the fat gut. My hair was messed up. My teeth was messed up. And almost, and I say almost at one point in history, I was almost a 5 because I was at an all-time low in my life 10 years ago when it came to sex and dating with females. I was just getting rejected left and right. Couldn't get anything right. Now you take a time machine and you fast forward to 2019 where you see something new behold. Now, in order for you to find out what type of number you are, you have to go out into the world and you have to do social experiments. Like for me, I have the body of an athlete. A lot of people like to classify me as a basketball player, a football player, a bodybuilder, a weightlifter. Hell, I've had people call me a personal trainer because of how I stay in athletic shape. And that means I'm an 8. That means I am great. See, if you get a 9 or a 10, that means you have what they call legendary status. That means you are the be-all to end-all, like Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, said. Woo! The Nature Boy! 16-time World Heavyweight Champion, baby! Jet fly, Wheeler Dillon, summon a gun! Woo! Yeah, I know that was way over the top. I have a lot of energy today. I gotta make these videos fun and exciting, right? It's 2019. 2018 was a thing of the past, and today is 2019. I gotta have some feeling. I gotta put some emotion into this video. I gotta sound alive. See, most guys who get rejected by females, they don't have that over-the-top, larger-than-life personality. They just, boring, cookie-cutter, run-of-the-day meal, marshmallow, you-know-what. And they wonder why they get rejected. So basically what I'm saying is that's me. People, I do play basketball, but people, when they see me, they classify me as a basketball player, as a football player, as a bodybuilder, as a weightlifter, as a personal trainer. I've had some people accidentally accuse me of being a Hollywood actor. So I'm what they call multi-talented. The number 8 means to be great. It means to be multi-talented at a number of things. I'm also a great artist, but I am going to make a YouTube video about could art, help get women's interest. And I do have another video after this one that's gonna probably drop Thursday or Friday that really will get everyone's attention. That's, could dancing actually help you get laid? Because I've never mentioned dancing, and I'm gonna mention it, and it's gonna be dropped Thursday or Friday. So look out for that video. This video is about what is your number, because pickup artists and dating coaches, they don't talk about what your number represents. They don't talk about the representation of what does a number represent in sex and dating. And the reason why they don't talk about it is because they think that that information should be left out, and it ain't until 10 years later or 15 years later or 20 years later that you find out from a scale from 1 to 10, what are you? Now, that's how you find out if you actually have a shot with a woman. Now, if you got good looks with a nice fresh haircut, see the haircut I got? And you use your talents to your advantage, it could take you a lot further than you suspect. See, the guys with the most talent, they know what their number is from 1 to 10. Guys who don't know this information are guys that graduate from high school and college, and they go into the real world, and they don't know this information because no one's opening their mouth and speaking this information. So it gets what they call lost in translation. And you go your whole entire life never knowing from a scale from 1 to 10, you know, what are you? Remember my video when I said the 5 reasons why women lie? Well, anytime a guy asks a girl, what's my number? Usually you got to pay attention to how you say it and the reaction you get from the girl. Like a girl could just say, oh, you're a 6. And you probably might go a 6. That means you're kind of like below average. You know, like 7 is what they call average at best. 6 means you could go down. 5 means you're really below average. And if you get, God forbid, if you're ever a 2 or a 3, it means terrible performance. That means your number, you won't be able to physically, sexually attract women. The higher your number is, the better your chances of physically, sexually attracting women. The smaller and lower your number is, the harder it is for you to physically, sexually attract women. And whenever a guy say from a scale from 1 to 10, whatever number you pull, it's whatever number you get. Now, pickup artists claim you can change your number, that you can go from number 5 to number 10. I'm here to tell you that only exists in television and in film. In real life, whatever number you're born with, that's the number you're stuck with. Now, the only time you can actually go from one number to another number is if you actually have some money. Now, there's what they call the rule of the exception. The highest I've ever seen anybody go is up to 8 or 9. It's hard to go to 10. Trust me, it's hard to go to 10. Now, what's the lowest I've seen someone go to? It's probably a 6 or a 5. That's the lowest I've ever seen. I've never seen nobody go to a 4 or a 3 or a 2. And if you say 1, we call 1 -1. Meaning you can't physically, sexually attract no type of woman. That's -1 and -2. The lowest is either a 6 or a 5. And worst case scenario, a 4. So if you ask a girl how good I am, and a girl say, you're 4 out of 10. If she say the word 4 out of 10, that means you need a lot of improvement in every category. If she say you're a 5 out of 10, again, you still need improvement. If she say you're a 6, that means you're on the right track. That doesn't mean you're finished. That doesn't mean you're perfect. That doesn't mean you get the phone number. That means you're on the right track. You still got to make some progress. If you're a 7, that means you're on the right track. You have greatly improved and things are turning out to be good for you. You're going into the right direction. That means 70% of the time you're going to get some phone numbers and you'll be able to take some girls out to lunch and dinner. If you're an 8, that means you're great. That means you're multi-talented. You have so many different talents that they're used to your advantage. You don't just have to rely on one thing to always get the girls. You have other things at your disposal. If you're a 9, that means you're reaching another level of success. That's what 9 means. You're reaching another level of success. If you hit 10 and you get 10 out of 10, that means you have reached legendary status. That means you're like those cowboys from those movies that when you walk into a room, everyone knows who you are. You don't have to tell people your name. You don't have to even explain yourself. When they see you, they know you are the man. Now, that's what these numbers and representation mean. And nobody in the pickup artist community talk about what your number is. Your number represents who you are. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Your number determines if you can physically, sexually attract women or not. And this ain't just for sex and dating. This also pertains for the rest of your life. This also pertains, do you get a house or an apartment? Do you get a car? When you go to jury duty, how many times can you get out of jury duty? I'm serious. This number determines all of that. Whenever you're born, right? Always pay attention to the number of what year you're born. See, I was born in January 1986, right? 86, right? So there's an 8 in there that says I become great. And then at my absolute worst, I'm a 6, right? So if you look at your birthday, there's 2 numbers that let you know when you go up and when you go down. This is something that they don't tell you unless you take a math class and you take enough math to find this out. Whoever, think about this. Even when people say, look at your zodiac sign, right? Okay, zodiac sign, you could use that, but the problem with zodiac sign is they always make it seem like that when people go by signs, they go by that literally. A number is actually real. And guess what? When you have sex with women, it always comes up in the conversation from a scale from 1 to 10, how good or how bad I am. And if you don't hear 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10, if you don't hear that, you've already got your question answered. In fact, if a woman gives you a look on her face, you've got your answer. The worst that can happen to you is if you get 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. That's the worst you can get. God forbid if you get -1 or -2 or -3, God forbid. But that's how you find out. Whatever number you are, the higher the number, the more of a chance you have of physically, sexually attracting women. The smaller and the lower the number is, the less of a chance you have of physically, sexually attracting women. Think of it as a report card. I talked about it in the last video that when guys actually score and they score terrible, I already explained the sex part of it. The reason why I'm talking about what your number is in this video is to go into more explanation and more explaining. Because you do get some people who watch these videos and they go, even though you talked about it in the last video, I want you to explain some more of it. So I'm explaining more of it. 8 means you're multi-talented. That's why they say the word great. 8 great. So when you say 8 great, great 8, that means you're multi-talented. When they say 9, that means you've reached another level of success. And when they say 10, that is legendary status. That means you are the man. You have been solidified. You don't have to tell nobody who you are. When people see you, they know your reputation is you are the man. That's what number 10 means. Number 7 means average at best. That means you do good as expected. 6 means you need some improvement. It means you're on the right track, but you still need some improvement. Number 4 and number 5 mean you need to really improve yourself. You need to really work on yourself. You need to become a work in progress. That's what number 4 and number 5 mean. Negative number 1 and negative number 2 and negative number 3 mean you're not going nowhere. That's like getting in a car and trying to drive a car without gas. You're just not going nowhere in the road. That's what -1 and -2 and -3 means. Or you could just take the traditional grading system of a report card and use those math statistics, and you could do it from that standpoint. That's why I did it like I did it in the last video. See, what most people have a hard time understanding is they don't know what number they are. This is how you find out what number you are. And I'm not making this up. The higher the number, the more attractive you are to women. See, pickup artists and dating coaches are not going to talk about this in their YouTube videos, period. Because that's information that's helpful and useful. And that's why so many men struggle. You could even say the more personality you have, you could take that same scale from a number 1 to 10 and use that to your full advantage. So basically this video is to help guys understand. So girls use the numbers a lot. That's why I made the video, because you may not know your performance in work. You may not know your performance in the bedroom. So I got to come on here and talk about from scale 1 to 10, because most men, every man believes they're a 10. Well, I'm here to break some news to you. All of us are 10s until you get rejected. Remember that video where I said the more you get rejected, the percentage drop down? That's why I made this video, so that way you don't be surprised or shocked that the bigger the numbers are, the higher the numbers are, the more of your chances of getting laid. And you see, on self-improvement, I'm going to tell you the numbers, because most guys don't know where they are when it comes from a scale from 1 to 10. They don't know what number they rank. They don't know where they are as far as numbers. Pickup artists and dating coaches don't talk about that on their YouTube channels. They don't talk about that in 2-hour, 3-hour seminars. And when they be saying nonsense like looks doesn't matter, oh no. You can even take this format and use it for your looks. The more women say you look good, the higher your numbers go. It's like playing basketball. How many points can you score? So that's why I said that. Number 4, number 5 means you need to improve performance. Number 6 means you're on the right track. Number 7 means average as best. 8 means you're great. 8 means you're multi-talented. You don't just depend on one talent, you're multi-talented. Number 9 means you reach a new level of success. And number 10 means you're the be-all to end-all. You are the man. You do not have to tell anyone about you because they know you are the man. That's what 10 means. That's what these numbers represent. And you can use this for sex and dating. You can even use this at your job. So this number count that I'm using, that's how you can tell what your number is. From a scale from 1 to 10, that's how you find out what your number is. The higher the numbers, the more women find you physically, sexually attractive. The smaller the numbers, the less women find you physically, sexually attractive. So if you ask a girl from a scale from 1 to 10, what's my number? And you hear a girl say either 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10, you're okay. But if you hear a girl say you're a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, that means you need a lot of self-improvement. And God forbid if she ever say -1, -2, or -3, God forbid, that means you're not going nowhere. That means you are not going to be able to attract no one. That's why you hear Big Boss, or not Big Boss, but O'Shea 2 years ago made a YouTube video called Incels. And I am going to make a video about incels. Just so you know, I'm going to give you a little brief history of it right here in this video before I end the video, because that might be next week's video, who knows. That is where guys cannot physically, sexually attract no woman. They can't attract women that's tall, short, skinny, fat, young, old, ugly, cute. They can't attract no woman. So that's why I said, God forbid a girl ever says -1, -2, or -3. If you hear a girl say you're a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10, that means you need a lot of improvement. If a girl say you're a 6 out of 10, that means you're on the right track. You're a work in progress. If you're a number 7, that means you're average at best. If you're number 8, that means you're multi-talented, you're great. If you're 9, that means you've reached a new level of success. And you guys by now should know what number 10 is. Number 10 is you are the be all to end all. You have legendary status. So that's why I'm saying the higher the numbers are, you can physically, sexually attract a lot of women. The lower the numbers are, the less of you to physically, sexually attract. And if they drop down to -1, that means you ain't attracting nothing. And this is something that pickup artists and dating coaches are never going to talk to you about. And these numbers also are based off of rejection. So the higher the numbers are, the less rejection you experience. The lower the numbers are, the more rejection you're going to experience. That's how you find out that your male biology imperative is in great danger and you could be possibly erased and erased out of existence. That's how you find this out. That's why they use numbers and statistics. And pickup artists and dating coaches don't like to talk about numbers because they think it's too scary and too terrifying. But you'll never learn the truth unless somebody comes on camera and tell you the truth, even if it is scary and terrifying. Until then, peace.